Hey guys, what's up? Stephanie, the English coach here from EnglishFulltime.com. Today I have one of my former students with me and we are going to talk about how he improved his English. So, hi Stefano, how are you?
Hi, Stephanie. I'm very well.
Great, good to hear that. I think before we even begin this interview, we have to tell everybody that I've been pronouncing your name wrong. I guess, like ever since we met and you introduced yourself because you're from Italy. And how do you say your name in Italian?
I say my name, Stefano.
You say Stefano, right? And
Yes.
to me in English, like that just sounded so strange. I was like, that doesn't sound like an English name. I needed to make it more comfortable for me. So I was like, well, my name is Stephanie, yours is Stefano. So I was like, what if I call you Stefano? How does that sound? And you're like, sure, call me Stefano. And later we learned that your name is pronounced in English Stefano, like that, right?
Stefano, yes, yes.
Anyways, I just thought I would give that introduction because if someone watches this video and sees me saying Stefano, they're going to be like, whoa, that's not how you say it. And we just have to explain that it's something between us, right?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So why don't you go ahead and just tell everybody how we met?
Yes, we met 1 year ago. I was on Facebook and I get a message pop up. The English coach page was making a live video and I didn't have something to do and I start to watch your video and I found interesting the project that you propose and I have subscribed to your English Full-Time Academy in 1 minute after I started to watch your video. So, and in this way started my path to improving my English with you.
Yes, fantastic. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about. So when you joined, why did you join? Like you were struggling with your English, you wanted to improve. What was your motivation for joining?
I wanted to improve because I have studied English in the high school, and but I have studied English in the traditional way, studying grammar, making exercise, but in 5 years I didn't have the opportunity to speak English. After I work in the IT, I'm an IT consultant, freelance, and I have read a lot of technical documentation in English, and so I feel that probably I have continued my study of English without practicing it. So 1 year ago, I started to make some one-to-one lesson on internet, and I was just for challenge my English skills, and I feel that I wasn't reach a level of English that I liked. So I would to continue my improving, and I have found just as I have said, your project.
Yeah. So I think that's really interesting what you said because you studied English for 5 years before ever working with me and you didn't get to the level that you wanted. I think a lot of people are going to relate to that because I hear stories like this every single day. People study English for decades, not even 5 years. Some people study English for decades and they still don't reach a level that they're happy with. And then on top of that, you even did private lessons with a private teacher and you still felt like, oh, this isn't really helping me. So that's incredibly interesting because those are all things that a lot of people think are the answer, basically, right? They think that if they learn English through the traditional system, that they will get fluent. They think that if they do private lessons, that they will get fluent or confident. I totally understand that because as a language learner myself with Spanish, I used to believe those things too. And then I learned that that doesn't always work, at least not for everybody. So what kind of activities do you remember doing in our group that maybe you felt scared to do, but you did them anyways? Do you remember any interesting activities I had you guys do?
Probably the first activity that I was scared for was make a live video in English, and I remember the first time I make this live video, but after made it, I realized that it was a way to go out from my comfort zone and understand better what was my English level, and then understand also my improvement on the way. So it was very useful for me.
Yeah, and we did lots of activities like that. I had you guys do lots of live videos. I had you guys do group discussions with each other. And I think it's really important for people who learn to understand the learning process and how to learn better. So this is a strategy that you can use. First of all, if you are in the position of here you are as a learner and here the teacher is, it's really hard to build confidence because there's always somebody that's like above you. There's always somebody else. But if you are in the position of a leader and you are sharing your knowledge with other people, because I had you guys make these live videos to share experiences, to share your knowledge, your areas of expertise, etc. If you're in that position, all of a sudden you have like a lot more responsibility on your shoulders and you're more focused, you take it more seriously, and it helps you improve even faster and build your confidence, because now you're like, oh my gosh, this is so scary. And that is where we have our biggest improvements, when we go outside of our comfort zone. And I watched you and several other students do these activities and again have these amazing transformations right before my eyes. And the incredible thing is that there was no English learning at all inside of this community. You guys were all people that understood the language. Like you said, you use it every day for your job and your field, everything that you study and do. So I wasn't even teaching you grammar or vocabulary or anything. I was just saying, okay, create this video, do this live discussion. And you guys had to pull from your knowledge and speak with each other. So I think that is really, really awesome. And I want to ask you now, what did you find most difficult about improving your English?
Probably the first time, the pronunciation. I feel that also now I don't have a good pronunciation, but the first time I was struggling with this. And sometimes with the vocabulary. I miss some words sometimes to express myself. This was the two areas that I had most difficult at the start, but probably I am a little bit more confident in speaking English. I could say that during the activity I have made inside the community, speaking English was not the first focus, but was using English to communicate each other. And then we speak about our skill and our knowledge. And this is helped me to don't worry about my English, don't worry about my mistakes. And magically my English come better day by day.
Right? That's how it feels. It feels like magic. Exactly. And this is why when students ask me like, oh, correct my mistakes or do this, I usually don't. Because if you're focused on your mistakes, you're not focused on communication. And it's okay to make mistakes in communication. And as we communicate more, we tend to self-correct. You know, you hear something and you go, oh, I realize I've been saying this wrong. And then you make that correction. So it's really interesting to me because before you joined the community, you said you understood English, but you never really spoke it. And now you speak English with other people. You go to conferences in English. You have business discussions in English. And when people watch this video, they're going to hear you have an accent, you mess up with your grammar, your English isn't perfect, but like it doesn't matter, right?
Yes, I agree with you. I have realized that also that sometimes I speak in Italian with other people that don't speak Italian as a primary language. And also I don't focus about the mistake in Italian. So I suppose that also an English speaker don't worry about my mistake, but it focus to understand me. And if I make some mistake, probably he will ask me to repeat my my expression.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone is so focused on understanding each other that they're not sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, what bad grammar, what bad pronunciation. They're just like, wait, what did you say?
Yes.
Exactly. So, okay, you met some really awesome people in this community too. And I mean, I did, we all did. And you actually came away with real friendships and you've met some of these people in real life. So I want to talk about that for a second, especially because everybody in the community was a non-native English speaker. And I hear people all the time saying, oh my gosh, I need to practice with native speakers in order to improve my English. And I offer a course now that shows people how to do that, and they have lots of success with it and they love it. But in the beginning, I started by creating this community where you guys could practice with each other, because I really wanted to prove to everybody and to myself and to you guys that you can improve your language skills even if you are practicing with non-native English speakers. So what was that experience like to chat with people and do Skype calls and other things with other English learners?
I think that it doesn't matter, because for me is the opportunity to practice my English and communicate with my English and improve my English. If I speak with a native speaker, it doesn't matter for me. I need to speak English, and I need to communicate with the person that is in front of me. It doesn't matter if it is an English or another or from another countries.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. And this is what people think. They think that if they practice with a non-native English speaker, that somehow that other person's language skills are going to rub off on them and make their speaking ability worse, or make their comprehension or listening ability worse, or vocabulary worse, right? I totally understand that, because that's how I used to think. I don't know about you, but that's how I used to think. And then in Argentina, I met this girl who was from France, and she spoke French and Spanish, and I spoke English and Spanish. So the only language we could communicate in was Spanish, and we were both messing up. And, because this was back long time ago, before I had the fluency that I have now. But it was so nice to practice with somebody else who also made mistakes, and we didn't care. We would just communicate and tell stories. It was great. Anyhow, do you still keep in touch with the people that you met in our community?
Yes, I keep in touch with Rene, Fabrizio, Erica, with you.
Mm-hmm.
I had the opportunity to meet someone of you, like Fabrizio. Fabrizio is now in Italy, and I had the opportunity to meet him. And I realized that on the internet we make relationships that are true relationships. Also, if we get in touch through a webcam or a microphone, but at the end we had the opportunity to know other people. So
yeah. I think that was probably like one of the highlights of the entire program, is that I was able to bring people together from all over the world. You guys formed relationships and ended up meeting in real life. So the people watching this video aren't going to know this, so I'll just tell them. But you and I met in real life. We met in Italy with my husband, because my husband and I were traveling there. And you took us to this fantastic restaurant. I still remember the pasta. It was amazing. And we went with your wife, and Fabrizio, one of the other students who you said you met in Italy, was also there. And so my husband and I picked him up where he was staying. We all drove together to your house, and we all met up, and it was so awesome.
And I remember what I have said to you. You are making a great project, and I like the way you understand how to speak English. And I was a result of your project. It was a part of this magic, of my English improving. So
yeah. Well, honestly, like, that's all I want to see. Like, I want to see people go from being where they are, struggling with English, struggling with confidence, to owning it, and to just basically saying, you know what, I understand English, therefore I can speak English, I can communicate, and then just get better along the way, right? Just, you're going to keep improving, everyone's going to keep improving, and we can use this language as a tool to get new opportunities in life, create new relationships. And I love what you said about forming relationships online, right? And that can form real relationships.
Yes. They are real.
They are. And, while we're on this topic, I should just mention that Erica and Renee, who are also from the community, they met up in New York when Renee went over there to a conference and to travel. And they surprised me. They posted a picture in our group, and they're just like, hey, we're hanging out. And I'm just like, this is incredible, because I think a lot of people don't realize how powerful the internet is. Like, it connects you to real people. Like, real people are using the internet. A lot of people, I think, are skeptical about being online, using the internet, because we're always afraid of strangers, afraid of bad things happening. But what we don't realize is that there are really great people on the internet too, that we can connect with, form relationships with, and then visit in real life, just like we all visited each other.
I should say one thing. Today, during my lunch with my son, I have said that this evening, now in Italy is evening, and I will have an interview with you. And my son told me, but Stephanie are coming here to make the interview with you. I know I am saying it through webcam, but for him, probably
He didn't understand.
yes.
Because wait, how old is he? I met your kids too. How old is your son?
6 years.
Oh yeah, so when you said you're doing an interview with me and he knows me because he met me, then
Yes.
he was probably like, "Wait, is she coming over?"
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And you know what? Okay, I have to tell you this. It really like touched my heart, something that you said. When I was over there, remember we put one of my YouTube videos on your TV and I took a picture with
Yeah.
it and I was like in the video and next to your TV because you said, "Stephanie, I watch all your videos on this TV and my whole family knows you. It's like you're part of the family." And like that just, oh my gosh, like it meant so much to me to just to realize that what I'm doing is having an impact, it's changing lives, because that's all I wanted to do when I got started. So just to wrap it up, I have one more question for you. If you could give one piece of advice to other English learners, what would you tell them?
Don't worry about the English. This is the first thing that I have realized. Start to speak English. Try to speak English. Try to get to reach the opportunity to speak English. As you have said, the internet gives the opportunity to build a relationship, and English is the language to communicate with the people from all around the world. So it was easy. Another thing, try to find the opportunity to practice English during the day. I have switched from Italian to English my mobile phone, and I use WhatsApp or Messenger to make voice clip. Make also if I don't have someone that are listening me in real time, making a voice script give me the opportunity to practice my English. And don't worry about grammar. Grammar is important. I don't want to say that it's not important, but it's a part of the learning of a language that probably is not the first part needed to use a language. Also with Italian, but everyone, we start to speak our language without knowing grammar. So we don't need to study English. We need to practice English. And then everyone will reach a level that is good for him. So
Exactly. And that's exactly what we mentioned in the beginning of this call before I started recording, that you're pretty much at a level right now where you're comfortable. You're like, yeah, I know I could improve. I could have perfect grammar and improve my pronunciation, but you've learned what you need to know for where you're at in life right now. Your English serves you. And at the end of the day, that's what's important. This language is a tool. You don't have to speak it perfectly. You don't have to have perfect grammar. You don't have to have perfect pronunciation. You need to be at the level that is appropriate and convenient for you. And once you get to that level, just maintain it, right? Just maintain it and use your English and let it serve you.
yes, yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Stefano, for doing this interview with me. And I look forward to staying in touch and, of course, knowing more about what you're up to and, how things are going.
Good, Stephanie. Thank you. And buona fortuna per il futuro.
Oh man, I love Italian.
I know that you like Italian as you like Spanish, so this is a message for you and for all your students.
Yes, grazie.
Good.
All right, thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.